Chris Johnson here at the Top 10 All-American Camp presented by ASGR in Linwood High School in Linwood, California. I have the pleasure of being joined by managing partner, national and international scout of All-Star Girls Report, Nate Altenhofen. What's up, Nate?
Hey, Chris, it's great to be here. We got obviously an outstanding group of talent down here in Linwood, and appreciate you guys helping us out here with this. So.
Oh, absolutely. It's a pleasure to be here, and you're right about the talent. Talk a little bit about ASGR, where the direction of the brand is going, the scouting service, the events, the whole 9 yards.
Absolutely. It's my third year back with Mike and Brett and with ASGR, and besides the recruiting app and the actual evaluation and exposure portion of our business, we've grown in events. We now have 3 convention center events. We've got the Deep South Classic in April, still the best event in the country in my opinion, down in Raleigh, North Carolina. But the big one that we believe is going to explode this year is our H-Town, Battle of H-Town in Houston in the May live period. And then we added back Virginia Beach for the first part of July. So our events have grown, always had some of the top, scouting service and exposure within the company. And we're just trying to, keep spreading ourselves nationwide.
Nate, you have 30 years, decades of experience in the basketball game. Talk a little bit about your experience, some of the players you've coached, and some of the things, the stops that you've made along your journey.
Absolutely. I was fortunate enough to coach travel ball in Minnesota in the 90s, but kind of at the beginning of the grassroots era. And besides coaching at, helping grow the North Tartan program, I started the Minnesota Stars. We had some of the top players in the country. Lindsey Whalen ended up being one of the best point guards in the world, right? And Tara Bjorklund and Katie Alsdorf had some kids that played at a very high level. Then I got into college coaching, been at Sun Belt, the Ohio Valley, the Big Ten for a year, and also a head coach for 6 years, won a national title at Odessa Junior College in 2007. So that team had Chandrea Jones, ended up being all Big East at Syracuse, and Juanita Ward, who was actually at one point the #1 player in the country out of Mississippi. So I've seen a lot, and on and off again, helped out Mike with some of his events with ASGR, and such a tremendous program to kind of keep growing the business.
And as a scout, as a respected evaluator of talent, can you tell us a little bit about your process when you come to and you run an event like this, the Top 10 All-American Camp presented by ASGR? What's your process when you look at players? How do you decide, okay, I've seen this girl 3 or 4 times before, she doesn't look great out here, or she looks great, I've never seen her before. Just talk a little bit about that, Nate. Just give the audience some insight on that.
Well, one of the fortunate things, it's no different than coaching. I always felt like the coaches, the people that have been not only a star, but maybe been a supporting starter or a role player, end up being the best head coaches because they saw themselves in all the different roles players had. No different than scouting. Being fortunate enough to coach NAIA and coach in junior college and be around big, BCS type players or low D1 or mid-major D1 players, you kind of know what those different levels are looking for. And so when I come to an event like this is, obviously the first thing you notice is kind of the speed and height, right? You notice the athleticism or the strength or the size of someone, but then you start to add in the skill level and you start comparing them to similar players that you've seen over the last 25 plus years. So eventually you kind of feel out what their ceiling will be at the next level, and you start putting a rating on them that would kind of benefit where we think they could have a lot of success at.
Absolutely. How would you assess this year's camp as far as talent?
Outstanding. I mean, I think we've got 8 or 9 kids that are either in the top 20 in their class from multiple age groups, 2021s through 2023s. We have some outstanding 2024s that we've added numerous kids to the database since we've been here already in just a few hours. And really, it's been a great turnout, some great talent for all levels. And we will be updating our recruiting app within the next week.
Awesome. Well, you heard it here first. Nate Altenhofen, managing partner of ASGR, National and International Director of Scouting. Thank you so much, Nate. We appreciate you.